Well, to the adulation of the audience everywhere, and especially that one bloke that commented on the Chainsaw Man review asking for us to do Vinland Saga instead of Chainsaw Man, we are here, finally, late. It was somebody's fault here. I can't remember whose, and I'm choosing to believe it wasn't me. But whose fault it could be EliteAri's fault.
Um, I don't even remember. I doubt it. Usually I'm like, I can do these whenever, but I just don't have much to say. I'm gonna blame Bacon.
Well, if
So
it's
go ahead,
not,
Bacon.
well, if it's not EliteAri's fault, then it must be Jarkey Bacon's fault.
What? Oh, well, shout out to my favorite man, Dead Sec, because I don't think we were gonna do this video otherwise. But he reminded us, so we got 2 chapters to talk about. All right, fellas.
Is that our YouTube commenting friend?
Yes, it seems like it.
Friend or foe? In these trying times, who knows? Oh my god.
He called you a young dishwasher. So without the O in young, so you know he's real.
Wasn't that a chatter's name? Is that the same person?
Ooh.
I think that was a chatter's name. It was Dishwasher something. When I used to have Twitch chatters that weren't just EliteAri. My goodness, what a terrible state we're in. Anyway, we're talking about Vinland Saga, chapters 201 and 202. 1,000-Year Voyage Part 10 and probably Part 11. Now, we didn't do the 201 chapter when it first came out because it was like 8 pages. That was pretty cool, and I didn't read it. I assume the other two did read it when it came out, but I didn't read it until I read them all together, like, I don't know, last week or something. I don't know when I read this shit. But that's why we didn't do it, and then we put it off for a week because I don't know what the fuck. But anyway, we're here to do it now. And usually at the beginning of these things, we'll just get Bacon to tell us his overall thoughts, and he'll carry the review. So, Jarkey Bacon, this is your time.
Oh, no. Well, I don't have many thoughts apart from, oh, man, rats. They're here.
Rats!
I don't know why. It's a weird thing because, like, they've been hinted at so much. And I was like... But I was also weirdly, like, surprised, like, oh, we are actually doing the disease thing, huh? Okay. Even though it's, like, was so obvious. I'm pretty sure we talk about it every time, but I was like...
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's,
maybe not. Who knows?
It's interesting because one of the most interesting things about Vinland Saga in this current arc has always been the what the fuck happened on Markland over here. It's a big, scary, spooky mystery. It's really cool and stuff. And I don't think I ever thought. Now, Bacon might say in a few seconds that he told me 1,000,000 times it was disease. I don't believe him. But I never thought we were going to connect that to the rats because they are these sort of two plot threads that have existed and that we've been speculating about for like 2 years at this point. And for them to be the same thing is mighty interesting. And I was like, of course. And I felt silly. What a clever Vinland Saga this Vinland Saga is, huh?
Yeah, no, that's true. I don't think we ever really made the connection, but it would make sense. The two, Chekhov's guns have been converged. I guess. Yeah, and we really haven't got many answers yet, but I mean, 202 was definitely conjuring up a lot of discussion, as I am sure you can imagine.
Yeah, the recontextualization of the arrows not being an attack but being like a warning of like death here is also really cool. Maybe Vinland Saga is good after all. Maybe it isn't Midland Saga, like I'd be saying.
Yeah, maybe this Yuki moron actually knows what he's doing or something. I don't know.
To contradict himself. EliteAri, say something.
I thought this was also good. Actually, I thought this was very good. I'm very, I don't think I've ever been more excited to see where this story is going. And I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, now that I think about it for a second. Like, you guys were just talking about how we've been talking about how, okay, the disease is coming, the rats, whatever. I never for a second thought that it would be a plague or something. Like, I always assumed, okay, it's going to be a disease that they bring that the people, like the Elnu people, don't have an immunity to. But it doesn't seem that that's the case at all. It seems like it's a more widespread thing where even the Norsemen don't have an immunity to it. I wasn't expecting that at all. What this does is introduce like another aspect of like what does Thorfinn have to do when his own people get sick or something like that. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
That is true. I didn't think about that because when I saw I assumed the Canute thing was different. Like they were two different diseases. But all the Markland people had to have died somehow, which implies that they also died from the disease, even though we seem to be highlighting that it affected the native people more. This bloke seems to be okay, and they're letting him around everybody at the end, which could just spell disaster and be set up. But that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this was the thing. I wasn't sure. Like initially, I was thought, hang on, are they actually connecting these two things? Because like, oh, it came, this boat crashed upon the shores, and it's like loosely clipped. But you're like, I'm not sure. Like, would this actually hurt Norse people? Maybe it would. But then the guy seemed to recover. Was he like starving, or was he actually, hurt of the disease?
Mm.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, we saw
yeah,
the people, like we saw their limbs that were blackened, like their extremities or whatever, even in Canute's place. So I assume it's affecting them just as much.
But is this the same disease that's in Canute's place as Vinland, if that makes sense?
Well, yeah, I assume because they have the same symptoms, right? Like their arms and legs are getting blackened and they're dying, apparently. I mean, I guess we haven't seen them dead, but we have seen yeah, like we had this one shot of all the bodies in 202, and they're all like they have black fingers and stuff, and yeah. So I feel like it's the same disease. Unless I'm like, unless I dreamt this last night. I feel like I didn't though. Oh yeah, no,
Oh, yeah,
the
when
first
the lady
stage of
does
202.
yeah, they have
Yeah,
dark
they do.
fingers. Okay, well, some of them do, some of them don't. But yeah, they're like,
Yep.
yeah, it's clear, like, yeah, it's some ailment. Okay, hang on. All right, you are coming in clutch with this content. I haven't actually seen this point, but yeah.
Oh, you know, I
So
love
then-
disease things.
Yeah, okay, and the other people in the big double page
Yeah, they
spread,
do.
they have darkened feet and darkened fingers. Ari, you are a genius, my guy. Look at this. Yeah, he finally says something.
I've
and
made
it's
a
the greatest
contribution.
thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh my word.
Yeah, it wasn't that
This
good,
is
you know.
incredible. Oh, okay.
Yeah, true.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Look at how cute the rat is on this little page. Look at him destroying civilization. What a cutie pie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've come to the conclusion that definitive conclusion that it is the same sickness, and not just
Yes,
a
but
parallel
these-
that they're both ideologies are having to deal with sickness, and Canute's probably got a better plan, and it's another interesting challenge for Thorfinn. That's where I was going with it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Can
So
still be true
that
with the same
means-
disease.
Okay, that's kind of okay. So yeah, so it's the same disease. That doesn't actually mean it's the same people, but it's heavily suggested, I guess. I guess that's surprising to me, but I'm not against it, that's for sure. But then this guy somehow survives the disease, does he? Or he doesn't get it and he's just like hungry? Or because he seems ham, and then does he blame it on the birds or something? Like,
Because yeah, it seems like on the last page he's blaming
the
some
bird were
of the
possessed.
animals or something.
yeah, the birds were possessed by the spirits of the dead. Everyone died.
That's like a battlefield tale,
Mm.
right? Because the crows come out. You remember that
Yeah.
Game of Thrones book? It's called A Feast for Crows because all the battlefields and the crows come and eat the faces and stuff. We've seen that in Vinland Saga before. So the crows then take the spirits on and are evil because they're feasting on the battlefields. I think that's what that's referencing. But I don't know. Maybe not.
Extremities darkened. I'm trying to find a real life equivalent to this, maybe.
Didn't that happen with the big plague? the
Oh,
bubonic one?
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I did
let
look
him-
into this last night.
Oh my man, look at this guy. He's
'Cause
on
I
fire
I find
today.
this stuff really interesting. I don't know why. Like for some reason, like I said, I'm so excited for where this is going purely because I find this so interesting. But apparently there's a few options here for diseases that match like the they don't match the
Description?
time frame is the issue,
Symptoms?
but they
Oh,
match the
okay.
description of the symptoms. Yeah. So there's of the Black Death, which is obviously the big famous one. You've got two sub plagues
bubonic,
which
right?
match it. Yeah, you have bubonic which matches it, but the more like perfect match is the septicemic plague apparently, which is like one of the three Black Death plagues, which I'd never heard of before. Apparently there was
Yeah.
like three of them in that.
But the Black Death was in 1349 to 1353.
yeah, it was much later.
The Middle
Oh
Ages.
man,
is
I'm
where-
remembering my history class is coming in clutch. But yeah, that's like 300 years later, right? So septicemic plague.
Yeah, true. But it has been around since like even before like BC times or whatever. It just never was a massive plague or anything until the 1300s.
Yeah.
But apparently some other ones, it could also be cholera. Isn't that like a big famous thing? It's possible it could be that.
Well, that's in the water
know.
supply. Oh, and cholera. Thorfinn earlier was testing out the water to make sure it didn't make him ill. Cholera is Generally, like it gets in the water supply through feces, I think, or something like that. Because there was like a
Isn't
big
that
issue with it in like the in
dysentery
London
too?
and in Jack the Ripper times when like they poo into the literal like
Yeah.
where they draw their water and then
Oh,
they get ill from it. I think.
that
Um,
sucks.
Because in
yeah,
Game of Thrones again, in that fifth book, that's not a feast for crow's bacon. You take a notes. They're
yeah,
dealing with
yeah. I got it.
dysentery, and the big thing is they don't realize like they're making mistakes because they can't like figure it out. But you can figure it out that the problem is people are shitting in the lake and it's getting in the water supply. So that's a similar thing. But these dumb medieval characters haven't figured it out yet. Um, so it's like a dramatic irony thing. So don't shit in the lake, right? That's our message.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
wait, no, do that, but then don't drink the water.
Yes.
That's just don't do both. Either don't take the dump, or don't take a drink after
But I
taking the dump.
but I think cleaning yourself in that water is actually a good thing because that's why the Unsullied don't get infected and stuff. I remember Game of Thrones, these books that I haven't read. But don't take that from me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and who knows if old George knows what he's talking about. But Yukimura probably
Or
knows what
old
he's talking about.
Yukimura knows what he's talking about either.
He's a genius. He's researched everything. I read those end of volume thingies once or twice.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
All right,
Yeah,
it's... Go ahead, Bacon.
yeah. Well, so it's clear that it is from the rats. Like that's what it's suggested, but no one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
only like no one actually in the story thinks it's from rats, right? I think that's
'cause
what's happening at the moment.
that's another like folk tale from the bubonic plague shit, right? They didn't figure out that it was
Yes.
Oh, did they think it was rats and then they brought the cats in and then the cats were No, they tried to kill the cats and they thought the cats were evil, but then nobody was there
funny.
to kill the rats because the cats kill the rats. You
But
understand?
apparently, when I was looking it up yesterday, it wasn't the rats; it was the fleas that were on the rats or
Yes,
something like
that's
that.
the
Yes.
thing. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's what
I
my
couldn't
history
believe.
teacher told me.
Yes, I remember that too. Because I didn't look into. I'm glad Ari you've done actual research because I remember that what was it? That like people were saying, oh, it wasn't the rat's fault. And I was like, I'm pretty sure the rats definitely had something to do with it. But now you've said that, I'm like, yes, there was the fleece on the rats, of course, right? But anyway, I think people are like
Poor
trying
little
to
guys.
fight against anti-rat propaganda.
Yeah, we
Um,
love rats around here. Look at how cute.
All right,
this
but
is.
my last thing about like what this disease could be is that we've only got one hint. Because I was thinking, like, when we're watching this, like, or reading this, how is Yukimura possibly ever gonna like tell us what it is? Because they're never gonna know like what this disease is called, right? In the 1100s or whatever. And I think he did
Kali's
try
gonna
and do
come
it
out
by
with it.
saying, yeah, actually, well, yeah, that's I guess you could have Hild or something, like some genius be like, oh, why don't we call it this or something, you know? And we're like, oh my god. But the one hint
let's
he
call
gave
this
was
the
about
bubonic
like.
plague. So, I don't know.
Actually, now that you say that, I didn't even cross my mind, but I guess they could say that because apparently the name for the bubonic plague came from some word that was like existing at the time.
Like
So maybe they could
boobies?
say that or something. So maybe now I don't even know. Yeah, I guess they could just do that. But
Crazy.
yeah,
Can Ari
in
continue with
202
thought? I was
he
interrupting
names
you
the
too much.
he names the king or something, and it's like, oh, in the chronicles of it used to happen back in the day, there was some disease back in King whatever,
Harold's.
and I was like, oh, okay, King something like that, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, hang on. Was it no, was it Alfred or King Harold or
I think it was Alfred. That sounds familiar.
it was 976, I remember. I can't remember. Uh
Let's have a look.
uh
Yeah, King Alfred, and the translator note says Alfred the Great, the King of the West, Saxons
likely.
from 871 to 886. Yeah.
yeah. This is just most likely. This is the
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
of Project
sure.
Vinland. So
Actually, that was what I was going to ask. They're still translating this, right? Like, what's happening with
yes,
that?
so they came back. Yeah, that's a good
Didn't you
point.
read the
So,
note at the
have you
beginning?
noticed-
They explained it, EliteAri, you fucking
Oh,
idiot.
did they? No, I didn't. I guess.
Group update May 23rd, 23. Even I read it. But go ahead, Bacon. I don't want to read it now. You recap it.
Yeah, so basically, if you noticed, 201 was a bit like weird in the scanning quality. And that's because for the good feels of the final chapter that Project Vinland were going to do, that they thought they were going to do, they did it in this manner. So like in the old scan ways where they actually get the actual magazine and scan it themselves and all the stuff rather than using digital, so on and so forth. This is because we got news that Kodansha, which is the publisher for Vinland Saga in, I think just in general. They definitely do the English versions. They were releasing their app like Shonen Jump, like Jump. What is it called? Is it
Jump
just called
Plus, I
Jump?
think.
Jump Plus, yes, or something like that. And everybody's like, "Oh, are we going to get simultaneous release Vinland Saga English version?" And so they were prepared that it would, but it turns out it's not simulpub. They've only got up to the latest books basically, and they'll just release it on the app with their books. But so yeah, basically it's just continuing as it normally would.
Well, that's pretty good news, right? I think. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a big Project Vinland fan, so
I like to read Vinland Saga, and I think they facilitate that. Actually, I don't. I hate Vinland Saga. But anyway, should we go chronologically now, or do we any other disease-related facts you want to bring up?
I guess it could also be any other disease, basically, is what I would say, because
Is it
it's likely that it's the ones I've
Remember that
said.
disease?
It could be COVID, yeah, some coronavirus back in the day. Who knows? Because if it because any disease can, if it's bad enough, it can lead to sepsis, which can lead to just basically blackened skin or something. So who knows? Maybe it could be anything, but I
Remember when
doubt
I
it.
had like a black toe and I would complain about it all the time, but it was just like dried blood and I just had to
No.
peel the skin off. That was pretty funny. I had that for like 2 months. I had the bubonic plague.
That
I beat it.
sucks.
what happened? Did you stub your toe real bad? Because I've had it where it's
Yes.
like bled underneath the nail, and then you have to wait
No, it
for it to
wasn't
move up the nail
nail.
so the nail grows.
It had like the scab had grown over weird. But enough about my toe. I don't know why you keep bringing it up, EliteAri.
Sorry.
The expansion of the disaster in Markland. Explanation, not expansion. Jarkey Bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I had something to say.
Well, I was gonna say Ari's tag in Discord is anime foot lover, so you never know, Carl. Be careful. There.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. I don't like
Only anime feet, alright? Real feet are disgusting. They gross me out, alright?
I think
And
anime
I'm looking
feet are
at my
pretty gross,
toes. I'm
too.
like, these things could use a clipping.
See, I bite them with my teeth, Lamau. Like XQC. Bacon's
Ugh.
favorite streamer.
Oh yeah, true.
My favorite streamer. I love him so much. Watch every one of his streams.
I don't know if we
Alright,
should explain that or just
so
move
I'll-
on. The weird Discord inside joke I just brought up because I have no self-control.
What? No, we're on a Discord together?
Some may say. Some speculate that might in
Alright,
fact happen.
Okay.
The fact that in our Chainsaw
Alright.
Man reviews we constantly bring up Miller's Discord comments without explaining it it's kind of weird, but
For the viewers. Does
yeah.
anybody complain about it in the comments? Does
No.
anybody even comment on
No
your
one
videos
ever
apart
comments.
from,
We
"Please
usually have
read
like
Vinland
one
Saga"?
comment, and it's like something
Yeah.
weird that we
There was
got wrong.
one person told us how great we were at one point. I was like, wow.
Yeah, they
They're like,
said
this
we
is
were
the
the
funniest
funniest.
review I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, oh my god.
This was on the Vinland Saga one, though.
Oh,
I think, our
okay. We
anime
mixed them
discussion.
up.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. It was on the. I think it was on the anime Vinland Saga one, right?
Yeah, and then we also,
Damn.
but then someone complained about. Hang on, I'm trying to find the first Vinland Saga one. Where's that?
It
When
should be
did
on
we do
there
that?
unless
Is that
you've
not
got
on
a
your-
For You
Oh
tab
yeah, it
up.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then someone was complaining that we were being too mean to the anime as well, which was great. As
Yeah,
well.
that
I
was
loved
one of
that.
the original comments, and then Mia responded to it. so
Fun
that was good.
discussion.
Yeah,
The
crazy.
amount of donkey on anime and anime onlys is astonishing. No, anime onlys aren't 5-year-olds who instantly assume that one is related because of a cut. Or what? Anyway, someone was not happy with us. And then I always love listening to these while I do my homework. Love that. Great.
I don't do homework. I'm cool like that, and I just listen to podcasts and do nothing. Anyway, we got
Nice.
rats. Are we on into the rats?
Yes.
So there's
Yep.
little squeaking rats here, and then we got our friend, now our bearded friend that Canute wanted to kill one time. What's his name, Jarkey Bacon?
Vaga.
Vaga.
It's like Garda, but with a
V.
V and a G.
It's okay, he's alive. Hey, you, pull yourself together. Usually I read everything in the Chainsaw Man ones. We usually don't do that in fucking Vinland Saga. So we ain't gonna do that. They find this fucking survivor dude. He's like, he's out of it a little bit. And you're like, oh my god, Markland, we're getting an explanation. You're freaking the fuck out right now. And then he gets some food and he eats it. This is delaying the reveal because we're cool like that. We build tension.
Yeah, can I ask Ari one question with that?
Okay.
When he's eating this, what sound are you hearing?
Wait, when who is eating it? Oh, when the starved guy's eating the food?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he's eating that bread. What's the sound you hear when that panel is on screen?
Uh, I don't even think I have a sound in my mind. I don't know.
Oh, no
What do you
way,
hear?
Ari. You failed me.
Is it a
I
reference of
only
some
hear the
sort?
Minecraft eating sound effects.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Is like
No,
because
it
he's
didn't
eating
even cross
bread
my
as
mind.
well. It is like,
Yeah,
what did
no,
I
it looks
survive
like the
off?
bread as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's used a lot in memes. Carl, you know the Minecraft sound
Yeah,
effect, right?
I know everything about
Mm.
Minecraft. Okay.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
Did you also hear the Minecraft drinking noise when he was drinking on the very next page?
No, I wasn't, but maybe I should have been. I hear it
Hmm.
now.
He's
It's not
inconsistent.
gonna leave my head.
Minecraft devotion,
Hmm.
embarrassing. Um,
Embarrassing indeed.
Markland has been deserted since early summer, but we stopped by today, and you were here. It seems to us that the Illenu attacked, but and then it's all cool. It's like, boss, can we continue this on the shore, etc., etc. Then he starts speaking Linu language, and it's like all ominous and creepy. What a tense scene! This is gonna be at the end of an episode one time. It'll be cool, but we don't talk about anime here.
Mm.
What did you say? The indigenous people are gone. There is not even one of the indigenous people left in this place. They're all dead. I saw it myself. And then the name. The birds were possessed by the spirits of the dead. Everyone died. Spirits, is Vinland still safe? Yeah. Well, I mean, we haven't been back for our regular vision in 3 months, so I don't know what's going on there. Oh, and then the ominous ending note. If they're still safe, they should prepare to evacuate while they still can. What happened in Markland will definitely happen in Vinland. Reaction face shot. We can't coexist with the
Lovely.
indigenous people. You must flee Vinland before a war starts. Cute rat pose. Crazy.
Hmm.
We kind of already talked
Yeah.
about all this stuff, huh?
Now, this is mighty convenient, some plot convenience here that as Varga comes back, the guy's still alive. Unbelievable.
Yes, I'm disgusted
No,
personally. Also,
yeah,
where was he
yeah,
last time?
exactly.
Well,
I guess he
that is
managed.
interesting.
Well,
We'll
so
get an
yeah,
answer
this
for it
is
next
part of the
time.
theories. Yeah. Do you guys have any theories what happened?
Well, I assume he tried to get out because he was scared he was going to get diseased, and then he went to look for food and he couldn't hunt because he's an idiot. And then he came back and he was like, "Man, there's got to be some food around here." And then he's like, "I'll just lay here and die because there's a soft bed." That's my theory.
Hmm.
Maybe something more
Yeah, so
interesting.
I reckon the people in Markland were okay. I'm gonna commit to the theory that the people in Markland are the people in the boat that gave it to Canute's people, right?
Hmm.
And what
Ooh.
happened here is that, like Canute, because we see Canute firing arrows next chapter, these arrows were firing to scare them away or maybe actually kill them. Like, I don't know, like what is it? There wasn't like much of a battle. I mean, maybe that's what happened. I reckon this guy was alone and he somehow got out because I'm assuming we thought Markland people definitely did get the disease because we now know it's the same, likely same disease. Because Ari's big brain noticing visual
Hmm.
details. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot that could have happened here. Uh, yeah, because I
Aren't
mean,
they
I don't know. I
very,
feel like
very
this.
far away?
Sorry.
Aren't they very, very far away?
Yeah, yeah. And I guess he would have to I guess he could be on the shores of the UK, but Denmark's kind of like enclosed, so it's hard to drift past all those and not hit
Hmm.
somewhere else maybe. Because I assume what happened, they just died on the boat and it kept on drifting until it hit the shore. But they still had like the microbes in them. You have to like they had the quarantine for. They still had 2 weeks to quarantine. They didn't,
Yeah.
take the
It is
vaccine
interesting
shots
because
and.
they do say there is that boat later, and that's how you get across water if you didn't know. So maybe.
Unless you're Thorgil, of course.
Yes, then you swim because you're cool and stuff. I wonder if that's happened in the anime yet. I wouldn't know. We don't talk about anime here. But then we cut to the next chapter, and Canute is dealing with a disease. Crazy. Just like Thorfinn. Perhaps it's the same disease. Crazy. But obviously, this is an old kind of Askeladd reference. They're all grouped in a little thing. Canute just shoots them for the betterment of. I guess Askeladd wasn't really doing it for the betterment of society, but the betterment for himself. But Canute thinks he's doing it
Hmm.
for the betterment of society. And here it's just another demonstration of Canute's philosophy approach to ruling, and we got to kill the sick people to let the healthy people live, etc., etc. And you see it play out, and you're like, man, that's not cool, Canute. But then you're like, man, he kind of got a point though. But man, this is kind of fucked up. So that's what we got.
And did any of you did any of you what were your reactions to Canute callback, I guess? Because yeah.
To the Askeladd callback or the Canute callback? Or
No, no,
whatever.
just like Canute appearing.
Well, yeah, because I read them both at once. I noticed at the end of the last one they had a Canute reference, and I remember last time this happened, everybody's mad because it was barely a Canute thingy next chapter, and this was kind of a Canute thingy, so I guess that was cool. It's still there's not like a whole separate Canute plot happening really. It's just this is very clearly just like a parallel of showing the differences
Yeah.
between their two approaches. It's not like this is in
Hmm.
a part of a plan to do a thingy. So I still don't know how we get Canute character resolution in a short period of time, but we'll see.
Hmm. All right, what are your thoughts?
So I guess I said this to you guys, but I read the first chapter when it came out, and I made
Oh,
like a
really? I
bunch of
didn't notice.
notes. Yeah, and one of my
Okay.
notes that I made was about how, because I realized at the end it said like Canute next time or something. I was like, oh my God, what if next time we see Canute, he's facing the plague, and it's like a massive thing, and there's like this whole disease, and he has to deal with it. And that's
I don't
basically what
believe
happened. I
him.
was like, oh my God, I'm a genius. No, well, yeah, I guess
Ari is on
that's
it.
the disadvantage of not having a
Yeah,
recording of it.
So pro.
yeah, too bad we didn't record for 8 pages. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Ari's on fire today. He's carrying this episode. Good grief.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, of course. But yeah, I'm excited. I love getting Canute back. I guess we have always been wondering, are we ever going to see him again? How's he going to tie in with the ending of this? Do you guys think this is all we will see of Canute, or do you think there will be a resolution to what's going on here?
This might be all we see of Canute relating to the disease, but I think we'll get more Canute, obviously. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. So I've been huffing more Canute copium, or like thinking that we're going to get it more ever since reading Planetest, and you can remember it was like Planetest and Vinland Saga. They're the same story, the same lessons to be learned, and kind of thing. And then there's a really interesting the final chapter in Planetest is like a basically has the Canute character and the Thorfinn character in different parts of the universe uh, talking about stuff like, you know, and it's really great chapters, great manga series overall. So that's kind of like one of those things that kind of happens. And the Canute character is even talking to a priest that is just recently established. Like I think he's only in that chapter. So then I think Mir was saying, "Oh, we're gonna get Willibald back," and so that means I'm definitely on the Canute train. That's how you get my ticket punched in.
So are they talking
But
to each
yeah,
other in this Planet Test chapter, or what?
no, no. So they're not. So basically, I guess spoilers for Planetes. Do you guys mind this? Like Planetes is not plot heavy in terms of
I don't care,
there's no
obviously.
mysteries to be
Yeah, I'm
spoiled
fine with
about
it.
really. Basically, the main character his whole goal is to get to Jupiter on a mission. And so he finally gets to Jupiter and he
And he
broadcasts
gets on
himself giving
Jupiter.
like the one small step for man back to Earth. And the Canute
Hmm.
character is the scientist that's in charge of this Jupiter mission, but he's always very like the ends justify the means, blah blah blah, kind of Canute. And so he's listening on the radio to this one small step for man kind of thing. And so he's like, oh, it's like a one-way communication basically,
Huh,
which is
okay.
interesting. But
What happens
yeah.
is Thorfinn dies and maybe Gudrid survives and she goes to relay a message to Canute and that's our one-way thingy.
Mm,
I got all the ideas,
yeah.
you know.
I think Thorfinn just finds a pipe on the ground and smokes it real good. It just teleports over.
Ah, I like that one too.
Jesus.
Remember when we saw
Yeah,
a nuke? That was pretty cool.
that's pretty
Um,
cool. Anybody going to be watching Oppenheimer when that comes out? That's what I'm thinking about.
I
Yep.
vaguely heard about
Excited.
this, but I completely forgot what it is. So what is it?
A new Christopher Nolan movie about the dude who made the
Yes.
atomic bomb.
I was on Letterboxd, you see. Um,
I see.
but
I should make a letterbox.
you should. I always look at EliteAri's ratings of things, so we could see Jarkey Bacon's. You'd have to make everything a 2.5 on this one.
And then I could connect all my friends because my other friends have been asking me to make a letterbox.
Crazy.
So you can see
Jarkey Bacon just
all my
doesn't do
pals.
what people want. He's just on an island.
Nah. Hang on. I actually, Ari's the best at this. Ari gets asked to do stuff and he generally does it, right? I'm getting there. And Kyle, you are the
And I'm
rest.
watching Mushoku Tensei for this idiot, so I'm pulling
Oh,
my.
I don't know. Are you watching it? Oh my god.
I watched one episode today. I watched episode 17.
All right, well done.
It was terrible. but
Kyle,
besides the point.
hypothetically, and which one do you prefer? Sopranos or Mad Men?
Mad Men.
Okay.
Be very
okay.
careful
So,
with
like,
what you're about to say.
So say if you could watch Miller react to one of those shows, would it be Mad Men then?
For Miller, he would probably hate Mad Men and would probably like Sopranos more.
Damn.
Okay. Okay. What about Ari?
Ari, we force him to watch each episode of Mad Men and do a 2-hour podcast after each
Jesus.
episode.
I see. And then what about me?
Jarkey Bacon. Now, you've already tried Mad Men a little. You tried them both a little bit.
Yes, I
and
have.
you weren't
Didn't get
indoctrinated
his
by
teeth
either.
into me.
What did you just say?
Not yet. I'm open to hear the gospel though, if you know.
Wait, why are we doing this in the Vinland Saga chapter review? Is this going somewhere?
No,
It's all
no.
tied together at some point. Oh.
I thought he had some
Maybe it
grand
is.
plan. But for Jarkey Bacon, maybe The Sopranos. I feel like if you don't like the first episode of Mad Men, maybe you're not gonna like the
No,
rest.
I love the first episode of Mad Men. It just like made me very anxious. But like after watching, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever watched.
No, you did not. Didn't you watch
So
like
Kai,
3
what about the
episodes?
audience listening right now? What should they listen or watch?
If you like Vinland Saga, The Sopranos has a lot of violent people doing violent things, and Mad Men is about office politics, so maybe Mad Men.
Mad Men actually has good, well-written female characters, am I right? So maybe
Well, they
Vinland
both
Saga
do.
fans wouldn't like that.
But yeah. Okay, so that wraps up that
Right.
little bit.
Yeah,
Alright.
that was a weird tangent.
Wait, why did you
Sorry.
start that? I felt like I felt where it was going for a second, but then I forgot by the end. How do we
Tying into
start
the
that?
rats? I don't know. All right, let's keep
Man.
going.
All right, Canute's shooting this pretty girl. I'm a kiss a pretty girl with a
Yeah,
disease.
which-
I'm that desperate.
Okay, did anyone else? I doubt anyone did, but did anyone else see this girl and was like, "Oh my god, it's Hordaland from chapter 2 of Vinland Saga. I can't believe it. After all this time, she finally showed up. I've been waiting this
She
whole
does
time
live
for
in
her.
Denmark.
There she is.
She lives in Denmark. Okay.
So in my head canon, that's her, right?
You know what
That's-
Jarkey Bacon
Still have
says?
it.
They all look the same. These women in Vinland.
Yeah, well, this is
Saga.
what I'm saying. It could totally be Hordeland. Kind of slave woman, I guess.
Mhm.
Wouldn't she be way
Um,
older than this now?
No,
That's why she
she's
looks a little different,
Thorfinn's
right?
age. No, she'd be about Thorfinn age, right? So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
she looks like she could be of that. Of
Yeah,
that.
perhaps. Oh, you know what else I was
Yeah.
thinking of? I was like, man, masks and stuff. You can really never look at masks the same ever again. You just think about how there's a lot of people that went crazy over masks and shit, and are they gonna think Vinland Saga is part of the woke agenda, or maybe they throw it away by saying these fucking primitive idiots don't even know that masks don't work, Lamau. So that's why they're
True.
doing it, to show their dissonance. And Yukimura is actually a truther. What do you call the anti-mask? Red pill. He hates women,
Anti-vax.
and that's why he makes
likes
them all
freedom.
the same. It all ties in. Villain Saga is
Yeah.
bad for the masks.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's
For
just
both
cloth
political
over the
purposes.
mouths, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the microfiber or whatever, right?
It's
And
like
as we know, masks don't stop you from getting
They
COVID. They
keep
only
the
stop you
disease
from
in.
preventing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah. So not very effective use. What pandemic uh patrolling Canute? Just idiot.
Yeah, what a
Clearly smart.
fucking domey. This actually reminds me a EliteAri of that Attack on Titan dude when he's asking Gene about Marco's body and he's got the thing on. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
Oh
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that part.
See. I should have
Well
more
done,
faith in
Bacon.
Jarkey Bacon. Um, but then he burns shit
I
again. Remember when Canute burned shit in like season 2 and stuff? And then Wolf is here and
hmm
there's a thingy and he's wondering about Thorfinn again because he loves him and stuff. And then there's the cool
Yeah.
shot of the boat and it's like, oh, it all came from the mysterious boat. And it kind of reminds me of like crazy mysterious boat things that I've seen in a bunch of things. Reminds me of Uncharted 4, even though that's just a sunk boat that you like explore and isn't got a disease or mysterious shit like that. Though I guess there's a supernatural twist at the end of the first 3 Uncharted games. I make sense with my little thoughts here. But yes, they think they've done an investigation. They think pests are behind it. I think they think a rat's a pest, but we know they're cute.
Yeah. We stand the rats. It's the flea's fault.
True, we established that earlier. And then he flashes back to Thorfinn getting running away and getting punched in the face, etc. And he's like, "What the fuck is Thorfinn gonna do?" And it's clearly that he's feeling some things here. Even though he's doing this, he's on this path to make it the best for the most amount of people. He's going to sacrifice a kettle farm. He's going to sacrifice this village, etc. It gets to him a little bit, this Canute. He's human after all. Oh, we just love him so much. And then we cut away. So do we have anything else to say about this before we cut away? And we soar through the air back to an island.
I mean, he kind of thinks he's thinking about Thorfinn. Wolf is being, the yes men, which is interesting. And I do like the link to like Canute once again being showed with plumes of smoke. And yeah, it's introspective. Plumes of smoke when he did it to Immersia, and then you just see the woman at the end there, just dead. I don't know if there's something more to pick up there, but she dead.
It's the destruction in his wake. My goodness.
Yeah. And then we have the most confusing Vinland Saga page since
Yeah, I had to
Gudrid
look at it a few
stabbed
times.
Sigurd. I was reading this for like, hang on, what's happening? So we're zooming out and then we're going back in. What is anyway? It's like we're zooming out and then we like turn around and then we go to we're just going across the sea. Some may say.
Yes. To Vinland.
And then this is where all the budget went. We went to Thorfinn's one face here. Oh my days, the angles. I don't know. I feel like the face drawing just leveled up. Maybe it's because the chin is not this bare here, unlike with Canute.
Maybe because he took 17 years off. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just looks good here. I mean, it looked good before, but now I'm like, wow, this looks really good.
So what's going on here is that the idiots didn't show up or something, because we want to talk about Hild trying to kill people. And then Thorfinn says Hild wasn't on the same page. That's crazy. And then Einar does his little, I kind of see the other side thing. And then we see Thorfinn quadruple down, and he cannot accept righteous violence. Crazy, right?
Crazy.
I don't know if
not my protagonist.
Yes.
Yes. So I thought it was interesting. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Pulmug in Esquadrilla probably has. I reckon Pulmug's got the disease, and Esquadrilla went to go look for Miss Heg. Just because she's like his apprentice, and I reckon she'll have like something with Hild or something. I don't know. Only Esquadrilla can save the day.
This is crazy. Like
done it
how much is
before.
going on at the same time? Like I wonder because it's Misek Piquet. Where like we haven't seen him in a while. He's run off apparently. We have whole the Mi'kmaq people. Maybe they're sick. Like what's going on there? What happened to the Markland people? Stuff going on with Canute. Like it's been a long time since we've had all these varying storylines all happening at the same time, which makes me excited. I guess. Yeah.
We are
Peak
ramping up.
Vinland, baby. We just only get 20 pages a month.
Yeah.
Oh, what I would do to binge it all right now. Oh man.
Yeah, but
Suki
we can't.
Murafel, he should hurry up.
We can't because we have to talk about it every month on secondary ENT, and that comes first. And then we see the village. Yes, salute the secondary ENT channel. But then we cut back, and everybody's surrounding the bloke, and he's about to explain what's happened, as if we didn't already get it. I'm sure there'll be a few little details that add to the narrative here, but that's where we end the chapter. Next time, the tragedy is revealed. Dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to say
I reckon there's probably more to talk about with the thematic stuff. Like, I was pretty happy that Einar got. He's getting more distinction from Thorfinn, which I think is always exciting. And I'm going to rip this. So shout out to Mir. I watched this video, but he made a good point that Wolf is always yes man to Knut. Einar is not yes manning Thorfinn, and it's like the second in command. So it's like another parallel
that is
there,
cool.
which is a neat little thingamajiggy. And I think it's nice because it makes sense, and it's like Einar is seeming to carve out a niche to himself that, like, you know, he still hates Knut, and I like how he affirms that very strongly. But Thorfinn's still prepared to run away, but Einar's now not, because this is EliteAri. This is where he's set his roots. He's a farmer. He doesn't leave his fields. He's not like a traveler. He's not what is it called? A nomad. That's it.
Yes.
Or like for example, the native people, they will go from place to place, and they won't farm themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of the thematic, like, he's a farmer. He likes to stay on the thing and grow the stuff, and he doesn't want to move. And it is the thematic tie is interesting because it's easy to run away when it's just one bloke. But when you've got a whole community and everybody's got to run away, it's much less practical, and it will test Thorfinn's running away principle. And he's going to finally self-defend himself and kill the disease with a knife and stuff.
Yeah, we got to get the vaccine out. Come on, Carly. Chop, chop, mate.
Yes.
Get some
Let's
vaccine
sacrifice the kids. They spread the disease, I think.
Yes.
The fleas on the kids. We got to skin them.
Everyone who voted in the thing against Thorfinn, it was them. We got to kill all of them.
Yeah. I also like we get the callback to "You've never held a hoe in your life" picture from Einar. That's a classic meme. He's pointing at Knut. Everybody's favorite meme. And yeah, it's interesting. They are reflecting more on each other, and it's not like a Knut side plot. Which I think, if we did get Knut's actual side plot, then we'd be like, yeah, this is not ending by 210 or whatever Yukimura said.
Yeah.
So,
210.
Is it weird?
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
is it weird to think that
Jesus.
it could be only 9 chapters left of Vinland? I don't believe it. I'm on the copium.
Yeah.
I think for the first time, I actually believe it. Like, up until now, every time you guys have brought it up, I'm like, I don't feel it. I don't feel like this is the climax or anything. For the first time, I do feel like we're getting very close to the end of this story. Yeah. I don't know why.
And you think about it, as it goes to the farmland, what was in chapter 9? Chapter 93 was when Arnie died. And then we still had all Thorfinn getting punched and his conversation with the canoe and all that, right? Like, a lot can happen in 9 chapters, but I don't want to believe it. Imagine Vinland ending in 20. Actually, I don't think it can. Can it end in 2023?
No,
theoretically,
no, he'll take months off and everything.
Yeah. No. I'm just thinking, like, say if he did release a chapter every month, how many months do we have left in the year?
6 months left.
Oh, sorry, I'm being an idiot. For some reason, I was reading my date like it was American. I read the 3 and then the 6. I'm going, no, okay, yeah, it's 2024. Yeah, for sure.
I hate America.
That's crazy.
Especially EliteAri.
Yep. I hate the date difference. It's terrible. Having to read it differently.
Yeah, I just assumed you guys had the same date way as us. Across the big old.
We're so far apart right now. The furthest apart we've ever been.
Yeah. Like the people
we'll do it one day. We'll do it live.
We'll do it closer than they've ever been before. How exciting!
Yeah. True.
I was going to try and visit him because I was gonna, but I don't think it's going to work out, unfortunately. But
damn.
I wanted to see
one day
because Yeah, well, because he's near Mir, right? And so I could do the double dips.
Or, yeah, we
That
could
was
all
a big
meet up.
brain idea. But I do not have the funds to
You
do
should.
such a
You
act.
sh- isn't
Well, you have a
Cichlid
big
the
audience
closest
right
one? You
now.
got to go and pick up this 18-year-old, right? I don't know if you
I
and
guess
Cichlid
so.
have ever
I know.
spoken to each other at all, but there you go.
True.
I popped into yeah, we did. No. I popped into the live stream.
That's right. Yeah,
Huh.
for like 2
Popped into
minutes.
the live stream.
Yes,
And
now I
then he
recall.
said something about Vinland being bad, and I was like,
Yeah, he backed down.
that sounds
Yeah.
that sounds
Yeah, he
like
said the rest of season 2 was good. He was just won over by my brilliant argumentation.
yeah,
My children follow me.
I see. Well, he is you, like
That's
you
from
3
3
years
years
ago.
ago.
This
Yeah.
is him, right? This makes sense.
Yeah.
He's on the Carl Entertainment arc. That's very patronizing of me. I'm on the EliteAri arc. I'm pretty sure. That's what I
Thank
aspire
you.
to be on. So what point am
Oh,
I
you
at
mean
now?
your?
Yeah.
God, I have no idea.
Well,
I've stopped hearting comments, I guess. Oh my, I don't know if that means anything.
yes, I
It
convinced
freaks
you
me
it
out
was
because I'm
good.
like, what if I heart one comment and then the others feel bad because I didn't heart them? And I'm like, let
Yeah.
me just not heart anyone.
True.
I was-
Yeah. I don't want to hurt everybody either. I don't want to be that guy. Like,
Yeah.
there's some YouTubers that do that, and I'm like, fair dues.
Yeah,
More
not
power
a good
to you,
look,
but I don't
bro.
like. Yeah.
I don't heart anyone.
You're being too
anymore.
nice.
I don't think I ever did that much.
Sure.
I think you may have hearted a couple of mine, but yeah.
Yeah, I do
Maybe
recall
that's if
doing
we
it
did like
little
a
with that.
collab or something.
I did.
Yeah.
this-
Oh yeah. No, you hearted mine on like the Attack on Titan. See you later.
Oh well, yeah.
One.
That's
that makes
different,
sense.
right? But I was responding to comments in our Chainsaw Man one yesterday. I think somebody deleted their comment. I think because one of them was like,
Cool.
I was gonna watch the review, but then you raped my ears with the beginning or something. And I responded, people with weak dispositions beware or something. But now that comment's gone, so I think I owned him, and he cried and deleted his comment.
Nice.
So I win. Maybe responding to comments is good, and my 2020 resolution to stop doing it was wrong. Maybe I was just bad at responding back then. I feel like now I'd be much more sarcastic and dismissive rather than argumentative. And we all know that's the correct way to be, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Cool.
You just gotta kill 'em
Speaking of being argumentative, what do we think about this righteous violence? This has conjured up a lot of discussions. Is Thorfinn quadrupling down in this? Is he? What does he mean here? Is he like gone off the deep end finally?
Yeah.
Is he being like stubborn and is it coming around to bite him finally? Is Yukimura finally being like Thorfinn isn't completely correct or he is or so much to think about thematically.
I did interpret it as him just quadrupling down, but when he did it, it did feel like, oh, we're getting to the point where he said this a few times that it's seeming to maybe be positioned as hubris by the narrative, and I was like, maybe we do hate pacifism in Vinland Saga. But I don't know.
There's like one thing where he has like crazy eyes here, like when he's like.
That's just because he's determined, bro.
He's determined eyes. It's like I'll put in the Vinland Saga spoilers, and it's this anyway. On definitely not Discord that we use. I don't know, like the third one down, and it has like the I'm not sure face, bro. Yeah, I think that was an interesting point about basically there's a difference between the last resort, doing violence and then also assuming that it is righteous. Like there's a feeling of like for example, Thorfinn will protect himself. We know that he was going to do that against the shaman and other in other situations like with Garm and stuff, but he doesn't think of himself as righteous for doing that. I think that's probably a way to think about it, which is interesting for sure. Because, it kind of like Yukimura. I feel like has been a bit more, I guess, mask off. Like he's like every single episode that comes out, he like tweets about it on Twitter and stuff like that, and he'll give his thoughts, and it helps. I guess his message be more obvious in some regards, but then he at one point he says he wants people who commit violence to feel as much shame as bearing their dick in public, as the Google
Jesus.
Translate on Twitter kind of showed. But I think it was more like, film just as ashamed of committing violence as being naked in public, if that makes sense.
Mm.
I think that's what he was saying.
Like that show
which is-
EliteAri makes me watch, Dick in Public and stuff.
That is
that
not
is
true at all.
Yeah, I'm making good
Ham,
Alright,
I'm
references.
so looking forward to these MT. Maybe I should get on the last. Ham, which episodes are you guys doing, and when are you
The
doing
rest of them.
it? The rest
Yeah,
of them.
from 17 onwards.
16, 17 onwards. Because you guys were talking about stuff and I couldn't remember it, and I was like, "Ham, which part are they in?" And I'm like, "Man, should I watch this?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to rewatch all of it," but I remember the second part, season 2 being my preferred part for sure.
Spoilers.
And we got some
bro.
wild Carl takes as well. That was crazy. And Ari needs to put. Ari can't say stuff, but I can. So I feel like Ari's
Just
too
spoil
restrained
it.
to him. He
Just
can't be
do
like,
it.
"Oh, you're stupid."
Well, we can talk about all
So
this
maybe-
after the Vinland Saga thing, which we intend to a little bit.
I'm just advertising. I'm just advertising.
Yes, OrdinaryAri can, if you like Mushoku Tensei, you can watch us talk about it. Gross. I
Jobless
wouldn't recommend it.
reincarnation. I think it's called, right?
I don't know. I don't speak Japanese, bro.
Yeah.
Do we have other things to
So
say?
Ari, did you have any thoughts about the righteous violence thing, or
Oh,
am
yes.
I like, are you interested in plot and not themes here? Because it feels like the plot's more interesting.
I'm interested. I guess in this context, there's two things that I'm interested in, and it's not like really about the themes. I guess it kind of is. There's obviously two climaxes here, one with Hild and one with the disease. So Thorfinn is going to have to deal with both of these. The Hild stuff has to do with the righteous violence, and the disease stuff I think will come later, probably after he's dealt with Hild. But I don't know. I kind of agree with what you said about how Thorfinn is okay with doing violence as long as he doesn't think it is. Like he's not proud of it. It's not like a righteous thing he's doing. Like he can do it to defend himself or others.
It's
I kind of like that
permissible,
reading
you
of
might
it.
say. What a word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's permissible as long as you're not trying to do it. Like it's not even the fact that it's a last resort, but even when it is the last resort, you're not proud of doing it. I
And
would
it's
agree with
almost
that
like
kind of take.
if he feels like if he went back far enough, he could still have done something about it. Like he has to use the last resort here because he wasn't good enough at finding a better first resort in a way.
Yeah, like what you said about the shame. It's like he feels shame about it because it's an embarrassing thing to have got to this point. Where it's like, I could have been a better person and done something until it got here, but it didn't. So now I feel shameful about having to resort to violence. I guess I'd frame it like that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's still a big wait and see game to see which side
Yeah, for sure.
we're coming down on.
Yeah. It's beginning to the unbearable part of the monthly read. For sure. It's like you just want to see what happens. But we've got to wait a month.
Are we sure it's coming out this month?
We always
You can never
assume
be
it
sure.
comes out until it doesn't come out. But always, it hasn't been said it's not coming out.
Are you sure the sun is rising tomorrow, Kyle?
Yeah.
Not sure of
Great
anything.
question.
Idiot. Oh, the last
Fair.
thing to mention is that if you skip past the final page, you see Jarkey Bacon on the fucking. He's canon now.
Mm.
Do you ever notice that?
That was wild. I couldn't believe it. Bacon is famous.
Why
Oh,
isn't
did
he
you
saying
realize
anything?
that, or did you see my tweet?
I think I saw you
Oh,
say it was you in the
yeah.
Discord. And
I
see.
initially saw it, and then I didn't even pick it up that it was you at all. And I saw you tweet it, and then I was like, "Oh my god, that's Bacon! I can't believe it." But, yeah.
I've been staying off Twitter, right?
Probably a good thing. We also see Gudrun pregnant. First time we've seen her in like
Yeah, she's fat,
a couple
bro.
of chapters. I feel like.
Gotta lose some weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Get on the treadmill.
That's a Naruto
Alright,
gag
fellas.
from my Naruto video. What a great callback.
Yeah, great video.
You can watch
I'm also loving the
Jarkey Bacon
the bug eyes.
Leftover Bacon react to it on his Leftover Bacon channel. I should probably start linking that in the
Wow.
description because they link OrdinaryAri in the description too.
Yeah.
Am I going to remember to do that? Am I even going to remember to
I
upload
mean-
this? All questions for later.
Yeah, don't bother because, I mean, it was just like Smite highlights of me and my mates or whatever.
Isn't that the main channel? Wasn't that the main channel for a
It
little while?
was a Smite channel. Yeah. Um, Someone may find something problematic in there. I don't know. Who knows what 13-year-old me was saying?
Yeah, wait until the Jarkey Bacon crosses me. Then we'll be investigating the transcripts of these videos. I'll have
Yeah,
my
for sure.
top man EliteAri on it. Don't you worry.
Yep.
Yeah.
What if there's a drama and EliteAri takes Jarkey Bacon's side? Oh, I'll get rid of them both real quick.
I don't know how we'll have drama.
When you meet in
TBH.
real life and you steal my wife, Jarkey Bacon, that's what's gonna happen.
Damn.
No. She stole you from me. I think that's what we need to get clear.
And out of vengeance, you stole her from me. And then I,
Jeez,
and then we
maybe.
can thematically tie it in that you didn't learn your Vinland Saga lesson and you're the ultimate hypocrite.
Yeah.
And then your career's over.
Jeez.
And then we'll
and this
find you
happens on the
saying-
final chapter of this manga, and then we debate like the
Crazy.
whole thing, and that's the last stream we ever do together because we all break up. That'd be crazy.
What sad times. Yeah.
Well, you
I'm
better
gonna be,
subscribe, audience, to stick around for that eventuality.
Yeah. What a sad time. What a sad time indeed. Yeah.
Breakups be
Who
kinda
knows?
fun.
I'm gonna fall off hard once Vinland Saga leaves. All my videos are kind of popping off at the moment a little bit. 74 views in 48 hours. Shoo!
I think I checked today,
It's
and
not for me.
Baltic Sea War was my most viewed video for the last 2 days. So
Jeez.
Crazy.
it is true. This Vinland Saga should be going off at the moment. But am I doing an outro?
Yeah.
Is that what we're up to?
I think so. How many?
Yep.
How many?
We're
How
at
long
nearly
has
an
this been
hour, I
going on
think.
for?
57 minutes.
That's pretty good for our Vinland Saga
Yes, it
discussions.
is. Will next month's be as long? You'll have to subscribe to find out. Jarkey Bacon's link is in the description. Maybe Leftover Bacon's description is in the link. Haha. EliteAri's channel is linked in the description. And OrdinaryAri is description to link. See, I did it again twice, and God, I'm just on a different level.
Thank you.
Support links in the description
Pretty good.
below. Bang.